Hello, welcome to Thor Talk, the show all about Marvel's resident god of thunder. On this episode of Thor Talk, we'll be looking at how Thor, from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, could destroy a planet if he wanted to. You have to see it to believe it on Thor Talk.
I am Thor the Thunderer, son of Odin, prince of Asgard, and this world is under my protection.
Avengers Infinity War truly cemented Thor as the strongest Avenger, as he survived the full force of a star, stood in the cold depths of space like it was nothing, and used Stormbreaker to cut into Thanos' chest after it took on the full force of all 6 Infinity Stones. All this is clearly impressive, but how could Thor destroy a planet? There's no scene where he does so, or where a character says that he could. The answer is in the details for Thor and Stormbreaker. Now, I'm not going to reference some tie-in comic. I'm not going to analyze Thor cracking open the earth in that Wakanda scene and through some convoluted math come to the conclusion that a second hit would have destroyed the earth. The answer is much, much simpler. It's not what he did in Wakanda that we need to look at, but how he got there. According to Eitri, Stormbreaker has the unique ability to summon the power of the Bifrost, as before only the bridge on Asgard was capable of consistently doing. And we certainly see proof of this, as Thor summons the power of the Bifrost to arrive in Wakanda from a world away. But what's so important about him being able to harness the Bifrost? To answer this, we have to go back to the first Thor movie. Remember what Heimdall said would happen if the bridge was left open for too long?
Couldn't you just leave the bridge open for us?
Leave the bridge open would unleash the full power of the Bifrost and destroy Jotunheim with you upon it.
So, leaving Bifrost open will cause the power to continuously build up and eventually destroy the planet that it is projecting onto. And we can see proof that he isn't exaggerating, as Loki attempts to use it to destroy Jotunheim, and it visibly devastates Jotunheim. So, by leaving the Bifrost open and unleashing its full power, Thor could devastate and destroy a planet if he wanted to. And Thor does seem to be capable of leaving the Bifrost open for as long as he wants to with Stormbreaker. The Asgardian bridge Bifrost closes almost immediately after those on it arrive at their destination, as Heimdall quickly turns it off. But when the situation calls for it, it is open for longer, meaning the person controlling it chooses to leave it open for longer. The Bifrost was open for a good 10 seconds when Thor controlled it on Wakanda. Not to mention that it only closed when Stormbreaker was back in Thor's hand, so it seems that he has to use Stormbreaker to manually close it, and it won't close on its own before any damage can be done. Now, it is entirely possible that the bridge on Asgard has some sort of boost that allows it to have so much destructive power, but that seems rather unlikely, as the Asgardians clearly don't want to use it that way. Both Stormbreaker and the bridge on Asgard are conduits that can channel the energy of the Bifrost for transportation. But if they continue to channel that energy, it will build up until it becomes destructive, and eventually destroys the planet that it's aimed at. So basically, Stormbreaker is a teleporting, Thanos-slicing, more durable than the completed Infinity Gauntlet hammer that is also a mini Death Star. Well, that's all for this episode of Thor Talk. If you want to keep up with and support Thor Talk, simply subscribe. You can also follow Thor Talk on Instagram at Thor Talk. Once again, I'd like to formally state that all art and video is owned by its respective companies, and I own none of it. With that said, see you next time on Thor Talk, where...
Behold in breathless wonder.